It is Monday, May the 20th. Here's what's happening right now at 6.
So it is necessary at times to turn off power to adjacent areas to try to reroute power.
Fire season is here. So are power line shutoffs. We're on your side and getting answers from the Benton Public Utility District about that. Also tonight.
I'm Monique Ledesma with Apple Valley News Now, reporting in Kennewick at the Summers Hub. Find out what new event is coming next month in June to the Summers Hub and how you can get involved. All that and more coming up.
Plus, is a sleep center needed for the unhoused population in Ellensburg and Kittitas County? Emily Goodell is looking into that. And this is what it looked like on Saturday at the Tri-Cities Dust Devils game. Rain, wind, even a rainbow, but is more stormy weather on the way this week. We'll have your first alert weather forecast as the news starts now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6 on your side.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner.
And I'm Austin Reed. Here we go on this Monday. You know, fire season is here, like it or not. Area firefighters have been prepping for months, but so has the Benton Public Utility District. And here is why.
Benton PUD has a wildfire mitigation plan, and part of that plan is an ongoing assessment of our infrastructure to make sure that it's in a place to where we want to mitigate, reduce the risk.
Turning power off in areas experiencing hazardous weather conditions such as wildfires may be necessary for safety reasons. Benton PUD says the decision to turn off power is taken seriously, and public safety power shutoffs will be targeted, precise, and informed by robust real-time data about the situation on the ground.
So it is necessary at times to turn off power to adjacent areas to try to reroute power so that the crews can safely work on the area at hand. And so that does sometimes happen.
During an outage, you may not see PUD crews, but officials want you to know that they are working to restore the power. The restoration process begins at the point where the power feeds into Benton PUD's system. This could be a transmission or distribution line or substation. After repairs have been made at the feeder point, crews work safely to get the power back on, beginning with areas serving the greatest number of customers and continuing until electricity is restored.
The emergency services people have direct access to our two standby personnel 24/7. So if there is a fire, we can get there just as quickly as they can.
Earlier this month, Puget Sound Energy, the state's largest utility, said they too are warning customers that it could turn off power in some communities to prevent its power lines from sparking wildfires.
So for outages, if you're experiencing any type of outage, we say give us a call right away. We have an outage, number. Call us right away.
Benton Franklin PUD is also working on a new campaign about outages.
The great thing is you can sign up for power outage notifications online through Smart Hub. So you can not only find out if your power's out, so if you're, some people will say, well, obviously I know when my power's out, but that's not true. You might not be at home. So you can get a text or an email letting you know that your power's out. You also can sign up to get power outage updates. So you can find out when it's supposed to be turned back on.
To learn more about the outage map, just head to our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. We have all of the links you need right there.
We're seeing kind of a balance when it comes to wildfire season. It's been a little bit cooler, but it's also been very dry this year.
It has, and let's check in with meteorologist Hayden Nix. He's in for Stacy with a first look at your forecast. Good evening.
We are going to see some benefit, though, this week to help mitigate that with some rainfall. It's going to be light, but we've got it in the forecast. Not for this evening, though, for many locations. We are tracking a dry area right now around the Tri-Cities area with some of those clouds building in. That's a precursor to what's coming up, though, as we are already starting to see moisture in excess building up in the atmosphere. Satellite radar imagery tracking those clouds, but also just a bit of some just light rainfall return. But as you can see it looping through, not getting a lot of animation from it. We don't expect more of the upper level support to come in until tomorrow. and we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But for this evening, not too bad of a forecast. 72 by 7 o'clock, mid-60s by 9 p.m. We are going to get chilly once more tonight, back into the 40s with a southwest wind at 5 to 10. There will be cloud cover increasing as we move into the day tomorrow, with rain chances progressively moving from west to east across the basin here, with Yakima seeing some showers closer to noontime than Tri-Cities going into the afternoon hours. But it's not the only day that we'll see rain chances in the forecast this week. We'll talk more about all of this in depth coming up.
Hayden, we appreciate that. Thank you. We have an update tonight to breaking news you saw first at 5 here on Apple Valley News. Now, WashDOT says it has now found the wreckage of a small plane that disappeared in the Cascades last night. The plane and the pilot's body were found this afternoon near Humpback Mountain. Investigators say the plane left Arlington Airport around 4:30 Sunday, headed for Ephrata. It never arrived. Investigators believe the pilot, 69-year-old Jerry Redinger, was the only person on board. WashDOT says crews used cell phone data and flight information to find the plane crash site in a heavily forested area. It is not clear yet what happened. Investigators also say there should have been a parachute on board, but the man's body was found inside the plane.
The city of Ellensburg has been met with pushback on the proposed site for a sleep center, which would provide overnight shelter to people experiencing homelessness because of its proximity to a local daycare. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us after weeks of community suggestions and committee reviews, they're now down to a new shortlist they'll be discussing at an open house on Wednesday.
Hope Source is already turning the former Knights Inn Motel at 1200 South Ruby Street into affordable and transitional housing. But with extra space available, a feasibility study found it could also support a sleep center.
This would be a year-round facility with 25 individual units for overnight shelter on a single site that would also have restrooms, administration facilities, and it could possibly be expanded if necessary in the future.
Filling a dire need in a community with a temporary cold weather shelter, but no permanent shelter available in all of Kittitas County. But when it comes to the site,
the community members wanted to see other locations looked at. They attended council meetings and voiced some concerns about it being near a daycare facility.
The council asked them to recommend alternate sites shown on an online map. Red parcels crossed off their list, but yellow and green show 7 additional possible locations.
Cost is going to be a big one, of course. The ability to potentially build out for future if the need increases.
The two, the city says, appear to be the most feasible at this time: the originally proposed Ruby Street location and Foursquare Church at 906 East Mountain View Avenue. Options the community can learn about from 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday at an open house at City Hall.
It's really just a way for the community to learn about what's going on.
With a presentation from the City-County Joint Ad Hoc Committee on Homelessness, followed by a Q&A session. In Ellensburg, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Now again, they'll be reviewing those sites at a joint special meeting with the Ellensburg City Council and Kittitas County Commissioners coming up on June 13th. Well, new tonight, as the federal government moves towards potentially reclassifying marijuana as a less dangerous category of drug, new research shows the number of cannabis poisonings tripled among older adults after Canada legalized marijuana nationwide. A study published today in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine shows the biggest jump in emergency room visits for cannabis poisoning in Canada was among seniors. The researchers say edibles have become increasingly popular among older adults there, but many may not realize how potent modern strains of marijuana are.
Well, Oregon and Idaho both have primary elections tomorrow. Oregon, like Washington, votes by mail, and a lot of people seem to be waiting to cast their votes. The Oregonian is reporting it appears that less than half of the registered voters in the state will vote in the primary election. While voters will be weighing in on the presidential race, which is all but set, the big races to watch in Oregon this year are for seats in Congress. A longtime Portland area congressman is retiring, and the race is on to replace him. And Democrats are also looking for a candidate who could flip Oregon's 5th congressional district, which goes from the Portland suburbs out to Bend in Central Oregon. Voters have to get primary ballots postmarked by tomorrow or take them to a drop box before 8 p.m.
Well, and on Capitol Hill this week, the Senate is expected to vote on a new border bill. Now, Republicans in the Senate blocked an earlier version of this bill, which would have tied border security to foreign aid approval. And Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he doesn't think all Senate Democrats are on board with the new version, which means it could be tough to get to the mandatory 60 votes they need to advance.
Closer to home, we are seeing some more of that unsettled spring-like weather. Let's take a live look outside. Meteorologist Hayden Nix back in for Stacy tonight. He'll have the details on when we could see a chance of rain headed towards the upcoming holiday weekend.
Plus, we're talking about a new event coming to Kennewick with the goal of getting people exploring some new food options. That's next on Apple Valley News Now at 6.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus the year's best deals like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish HR-V or the Civic. Which car and driver called fun to drive? There's never been a better time to drive in the moment with Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Spring is my favorite time of year. I love when I can finally bring my garden back to life. Having a healthy and thriving garden is just one of those little things that brings me so much joy. A reliable truck that can handle my to-do list is essential, and it really does make the job easier. Come see us today and feel the power of Pingree.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can start it with a splash. Hi. With a play date at a park. Or at a party with friends. Or at an epic water balloon fight.
Gotcha! Right now, you can lease a new 2024 Camry for just $329 a month. See your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Prosser Digestive Health Center is now offering gastroenterology services daily, including weekends. Board-certified gastroenterologist Dr. Jack Brandenburg provides the full spectrum of digestive health care. His services include colon cancer screenings, treatment for swallowing problems, inflammatory bowel disease, liver disorders, and more. To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Digestive Health Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Why is my internet slow?
There's only 16 devices connected.
I'm so over this. My cable internet bill just increased again.
My upload speed is so bad, I can't even run a stream without buffering.
Defeat cable lag. Switch to Ziply Fiber, America's fastest home internet. 25 times faster uploads. $65 less a month in cable. Ziply Fiber. Call 1-888-GO-ZIPLY or visit ziplyfiber.com/GoZiply.
We got a probable spree killer who's been operating for at least a few weeks.
She watches them die.
She?
This is personal.
GDI, freeze!
The Will Trent season finale, Tuesday on ABC.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
Welcome back to the news at 6. The Summers Hub in Kennewick is preparing to hold its first annual food truck crawl. It's on June 1st this year. They're going to be open from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. And a $5 wristband will get you access to up to 23 different food trucks, all offering special $5 food items. The event was inspired by different taco crawls from all around the region. But Summers Hub wanted to change the game up and do a food truck crawl to add more variety for people to be able to try different kinds of food.
Bringing new culture here, having them try different food trucks, seeing how clean we are. I know that food trucks sometimes have a bad stigma to it, so we're hoping that it opens people's eyes and we're able to connect and bring a lot of people here at once.
You could purchase a wristband online or at the day of the Summer's Hub event. With that wristband, you are also allowed to leave and come back any time that day and still receive the $5 food deals.
Well, over in Yakima, the 9th annual Davis Art Show is holding an opening reception tomorrow night. They'll be showcasing the work of dedicated student artists. The art show will be open daily from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. through May 30th for class tours and community visits. The displays will include 2D paintings and drawings, 3D art and photography, plus, new this year, graphic art. It also features the work of 2 students who have been recognized as OSPI state winners and other award-winning pieces.
You see your peers' artwork when they're like drawing it, you know? But when you see in person, it's completely finished and all the colors, it's so vibrant, so passionate, and it's really good, so it's worth your time.
Now, the opening reception is tomorrow from 6 to 7:30 p.m. That's in the Davis Kiva. Some of the art will also be available for purchase.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Hayden Nix.
Well, we've got a lot going on in the weather department this week, but I do want to just touch base on next weekend since we've got another major holiday weekend coming up. Believe it or not, we are just about to wrap up the month of May, meaning Memorial Day is coming up very fast. And right now, we're looking at the forecast showing dry conditions and temperatures near 80 degrees for many locations across the basin. So there's some good news there, but until then, we've got some rainfall that we have to navigate through before we get to this upcoming weekend. Temperature-wise, we're at 74 degrees right now. We do have some clouds, but no rain falling out of those clouds just yet, but that will be changing over the next 24 hours here. At least in the Tri-Cities, no rain coming out of those clouds, but we do have a little bit just trying to pick up on radar imagery there. Very light, but we expect that to remain that way until we get some better support upstairs in the upper part of the atmosphere to be able to allow for more generous development. And we'll see why as we talk about the weather pattern here. So we had our first big dip in the jet stream this weekend, kept temperatures on the cooler side. Now, as we go in the next couple of days here, you see that small dip happening. Well, there's another disturbance that's coming in from Alaska, going along the coast there in Canada, and then we'll continue into the Pacific Northwest here in the United States. And we are going to see more showers increasing with this dip as it nears us for tomorrow and on Wednesday. Now, let's get a little bit more detailed with Futurecast and show you how this is going to play out hour by hour as we go through the day tomorrow and into Wednesday with this setup here. Notice here Futurecast is doing an okay job with just picking up the couple of bit of spots of shower activity that's ongoing right now. But really the bigger story is how tomorrow plays out with development and how it transitions throughout the day. So this is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. The majority of our viewing area is dry and actually dealing with maybe a little bit more sunshine than cloud cover. Then look what happens as we move through the day. By 2 o'clock, Tri-Cities likely still staying dry, but notice we've got all that rainfall that was just west of the Cascades in the morning, now spilling over and moving eastward into the basin here. We're going to see those showers really settling in, or at least attempting to, by 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, so the commute home will likely have some wet roadways. And then as we go into the evening hours, it transitions to more of central and eastern sections of the viewing area from the Tri-Cities back off towards Walla Walla along the foothills and the Blues. That's where we'll see the best rainfall activity for tomorrow evening. We'll take a quick break, and then Wednesday morning we'll see it firing right back up once more along the Cascades first, of course, and then we'll see a scattering of showers by Wednesday afternoon. There will be some locations that get a chance to see some extra rain Wednesday. Others, you only get to see what happens on Tuesday. And it's really the name of the game of how this does set up here. But by Wednesday evening, can't rule out maybe a thunderstorm or two rumbling around. But other than that, that's all we'll likely see with that system there. Then we'll go dry one more day before another quick shower chance comes back for Thursday and Friday. Rainfall looks pretty generous with some of these locations reporting close to 1/4 of an inch. The latest is kind of skimmed back a little bit here, trying to keep most locations at 1/10 of an inch or less. But along the foothills, we could see some amounts exceeding 1/2 of an inch. So We'll have to watch that one closely there. Tonight, though, back to the top of the forecast, temperatures area-wide in the 40s. We will have some cloud cover and then clearing up just a little bit in the afternoon, or going into the morning, but then clouding up into the afternoon, where temperatures will struggle to warm out of the 60s for many locations. You'll notice here Friday and Saturday for Tri-Cities and Yakima, just a small rain chance coming back in after tomorrow and Wednesday. But Memorial Day looking dry and beautiful for now.
Thanks, Hayden. Now up next on Apple Valley News Now, we're talking about some concerning new financial numbers for Gen Z. What you need to know from analysts next.
Need a new furry pal? It's Operation Best Friend from Apple Valley News Now. Each Wednesday, we'll feature lovable pets from area shelters wanting forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Windermere Group 1 and Apple Valley News Now.
Now is a great time to get an offer you'll love on the Accord Hybrid and CR-V Hybrid. Inventory is here, so bring on the fun. Bring on the weekend getaways. Bring on the memories. And get a great offer on a Honda, named the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
Vegas action is closer than you think. The fun is waiting for you at Nob Hill Casino. Come in and pull up a chair at your choice of blackjack, pie gow, heads up hold'em, or high card flush, and play with the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club to take your game to the next level and earn rewards for food, bowling, prizes, and cash. There's always a spot for you at Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. The new 2024 Kia Sportage gives you 3 great ways to save fuel. Available with fuel-efficient gas engine, a gas-electric hybrid, or as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. A new 2024 Kia Sportage with all-wheel drive starts at just $30,990. Plus, get 1.9% interest for up to 48 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Get 3.9% APR for 48 months plus $1,000 purchase allowance on a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq when you finance through Cadillac Financial.
Walla Walla Sweets Baseball has been a beacon of our community's spirit for 14 seasons. But behind every swing and every catch lies the question, where do our players call home during the season? The answer is simple. With you, our incredible host families. It's more than just housing a player. It's about becoming part of their journey. Watching our boys chase their dreams is incredibly rewarding. Become a host family and be part of something bigger than the game. Together, we are Walla Walla Sweets.
We have a consumer alert tonight. The economy has been staying stronger than expected, even as interest rates and inflation are both going up. We're starting to see the strain, and it's hitting some of the youngest consumers the hardest. Michael Yoshida has a look at new research that's raising some concerns tonight.
As Wall Street hits historic highs and unemployment remains low, experts say cost of living continues to be a struggle for millions of Americans, with many turning to their credit cards to make payments.
Credit card balances have been on a really steep incline lately. High inflation and high interest rates are really squeezing borrowers.
The New York Fed recently found that for Gen Z credit card users, who it defines as those born between 1995 and 2011, around 15% have maxed out their credit cards. For Gen Xers, the number is 9.6%. And for baby boomers, the number drops to just under 5%.
Gen Zers tend to have lower credit limits because they're newer to credit. So it is easier to max out, let's say, a credit card with a $1,000 limit or $2,000 limit as opposed to maybe $5,000 that somebody who's more established might have.
A third of maxed out borrowers, those using 90 to 100% of their limit, have gone delinquent in the last year, compared to less than a quarter before the pandemic. With severe delinquencies, those 90 days overdue at their highest level since 2012. While many Americans of all ages are struggling, high inflation and high interest rates are making it especially difficult for young people to get established.
It does seem to be hitting young adults the hardest because they have lower incomes, they have lower credit scores. There's a record amount of young adults who are living with parents because these household formation costs have really never been higher.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Now, still ahead tonight, an indictment finally in the cases of 3 women who were reported missing and then found dead in the Portland area last year. The suspect, we've learned, was let out of prison early. The details coming up in the next 5 minutes on Apple Valley News Now.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction, it's too expensive to remodel your bath. Fact, with Bath Fitter's hundreds of design options, you'll get the bath you want to fit your budget. Fiction, bath remodels take forever and tear the house apart. Fact, Bath Fitter installation takes just 1 day to fit your schedule. Get the bath that fits you. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your community Chevy dealers.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on select Steel battery trimmers. Real Steel. Find yours.
When it comes to your health, timing is everything. Health First Urgent Care is your reliable healthcare solution, locally owned and operated, providing care to our community. With locations in Pasco and Richland, we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No need to wait in long lines or rush to the ER for minor concerns. At Health First Urgent Care, we've got you covered with on-site x-rays and short wait times. Your health is our priority. Walk-ins are welcome. You can get the care you need when you need it. Health First Urgent Care, because your well-being comes first.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider. So switch to Spectrum and get a powerful network that connects nearly 500 million devices.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with free modem, no data caps, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee when you level up to a gig. Call 1-855-735-1336 or scan to call.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming with the most reliable internet speeds. Get a powerful network that millions of customers rely on. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with 99.9% network reliability, no added taxes or hidden fees, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee. Call 1-855-735-1336.
Call now.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms. Take action with our Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Try it today for only $14.95, plus get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Well, check this out. Blue Origin, that's Amazon founder Jeff Bezos' space exploration company, sent a tourist flight to space over the weekend. This is their 7th one. It was very brief, going just up to the edge of outer space before coming right back down to Earth. But this flight was unique because it carried the oldest passenger to ever travel to space. Ed Dwight was NASA's first black astronaut candidate, but never made it to space until now. He is now 90 years old and says that flight was a life-changing experience.
Now that is something I can get behind. How cool.
That is very cool. I'm not a space exploration person. I like to stay here on Earth.
Yeah, you know, as you were reading that story, I'm thinking, would I want to do that?
Well,
I don't know.
It may be the way of the future.
Maybe when I'm 90.
There you go.
All right, the news at 6:30 coming up in just a few seconds. You know, the prosecution rests in the Trump hush money trial, and now the former president's lawyers are asking for charges to be dismissed.
Right, we're talking about that. Plus, meteorologist Hayden Nix returns with a look at who could be dealing with rain within the next 24 hours.
This as extreme severe weather continuing to slam the Midwest and the South. The news at 6:30 begins now.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 6:30 on your side.
Well, it's been more than a year since investigators started looking into the cases of missing women who were found dead in remote areas around Portland, Oregon. Originally, investigators said they didn't believe those cases were linked, but now one person is facing charges in 3 of the 5 cases. A grand jury indicted 39-year-old Jessie Calhoun in the murders of 3 women. Investigators say 2 other cases are still under investigation.
The evidence that was presented to the grand jury at this point supports a murder in the second-degree charge. Were we able to indict on murder in the first degree, we would have sought that. We are still very much investigating the deaths of Kristen Smith and Ashley Real with our partners here, as well as the Clackamas County DA's office and other investigators.
Now, Calhoun has actually been in custody at Snake River Correctional Institution, which is near the Idaho border, since a few weeks after the bodies were found last year. Oregon Public Broadcasting reports he had been serving time for burglary and stolen vehicle convictions, but was released early after participating in firefighting efforts in 2020. Prosecutors later asked the governor to put him back behind bars last year because he was under investigation for more criminal activity.
Right now, parts of the Midwest and the South picking up after continuing tornadoes and severe storms, now blamed for multiple deaths. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has a look at the damage so far.
Overnight, severe weather slamming the plains where multiple tornadoes touched down. This large twister hitting outside Oklahoma City after officials urged residents to seek shelter. At least 3 tornadoes were spotted in Kansas, causing extensive damage in the city of Russell.
She grabbed the dog real quick and just took off east.
The National Weather Service received 8 reports of tornadoes across Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma yesterday.
Thunderstorms will begin to bubble in the afternoon right in the Great Lakes region during the evening commute, but then sweeping across Nebraska and Iowa. There we could see a few tornadoes. The threat persists on Tuesday, sweeping eastward into places like Kansas City, stretching from Green Bay to Oklahoma City.
Meanwhile, parts of Texas could see triple-digit temperatures this week.
The heat's not going to get any less. It's only going to get hotter from here.
Nearly 250,000 people in the Houston area are still without power after a deadly storm hit last week. Now many are left without air conditioning with record heat on the way. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
I'm glad we're not seeing anything like that here.
Yes, we saw a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, even a rainbow over the weekend, so not as bad. Meteorologist Hayden Nix in for Stacy one more night before she returns, and he has a look at your forecast. Hey, Hayden.
Yeah, we've got rainfall back in the forecast this week. Nothing right now, though, that we're tracking. We got a really nice view here from our sky cam, 74 degrees with a light wind at 9 miles per hour. But you can see there are some clouds, and we're going to see more of that as we move into tomorrow with rain chances back in the forecast and a pretty good, decent amount, though. We are tracking some very light showers, though, but very, very small and limited at this time. We don't anticipate more than just that for this evening. Other than that, though, temperatures are holding in the 70s for several locations like Yakima, Tri-Cities, Hermiston, Connell 75, and Hanford, to name a few locations. We do have some 60s in Walla Walla and Pendleton, 61 in Ellensburg. A little cool up there. We've got 64 by 9 o'clock in the Tri-Cities area after being in the 70s for much of the afternoon. We are going to go with 46 degrees tonight for an overnight low, and then tomorrow, as you plan your day, make sure they have the umbrella handy. We're going to see some showers coming in, especially into the afternoon hours. We're going to see more, though, going into Wednesday, too, and possibly even Friday and Saturday. We're going to talk more about it coming up.
All right, Hayden, thank you. The president of Iran and several other top officials died in a helicopter crash over the weekend. Iran's president had been in the northern part of that country to take part in a ceremony opening dams along a river. His helicopter apparently crashed in extremely foggy conditions on the way back. The vice president of Iran will take over, but only long enough to set up an emergency election to select a new president. That is expected within the next couple of months. The International Criminal Court is now asking for permission to arrest leaders in Israel and the Hamas terror group.
Yeah, so the ICC prosecutor says he's requesting arrest warrants for 5 people, including Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu. So the prosecutor says 3 members of Hamas leadership have committed war crimes and crimes against humanity as part of a widespread and systematic attack against Israeli civilians that started October 7th. He says Israel's prime minister and minister of defense committed war crimes and crimes against humanity as well, including attacking civilians and starving civilians as a method of warfare. Now, the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants in the past, including for Russian President Vladimir Putin. He's still walking free. Only 125 countries have actually signed on to the ICC. Israel is not one of them. That means even if the court does agree to issue arrest warrants, which takes a couple of months, Israel is unlikely to turn over the prime minister and defense minister. And speaking of international justice, a follow-up tonight. Today, crowds gathered outside the High Court in London to show their support for Julian Assange. He founded WikiLeaks, which published thousands of classified documents in 2010 and 2011. And because of that, the U.S. government wants to try him for espionage. Now, Assange is behind bars in Great Britain. Typically, the British government would send him to the United States to face trial. But Assange has been fighting that process for years. He says he doesn't believe he'll be treated fairly in the federal court system, and that sending him to face trial could mean his death. Today, a high court in London decided that the appeal can continue. And another chaotic day in court on this side of the Atlantic. Former President Trump's lawyers once again asking a judge to dismiss the charges against him in the hush money trial that's been going on now for nearly 3 weeks.
That request coming after prosecutors finished laying out all of their case against the former president. ABC's Rena Roy has more from Manhattan.
The prosecution resting its case in Donald Trump's historic hush money trial. Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, their final witness. In a heated exchange, Cohen admitting on the stand that he stole from the Trump Organization when he requested a $50,000 reimbursement for IT services. Cohen had actually paid just $20,000. The former president shaking his head and pursing his lips during this testimony. In their redirect examination, prosecutors trying to bolster Cohen's credibility after the defense tried to paint him as a liar who's out for revenge. The prosecution taking on what might have been the most effective piece of the cross-examination when defense attorney Todd Blanche said Cohen lied about an October 2016 phone call with Trump to finalize the Stormy Daniels payout. Cohen testifying he did indeed speak to Trump about Daniels on that call. There was a brief argument in court over 2 images prosecutors want jurors to see from C-SPAN video on the day Cohen says he spoke to Trump, showing Trump with his bodyguard. Those images ultimately allowed. The defense now getting their turn, calling Daniel Sitko to the stand, a paralegal for the defense team, followed by Bob Costello, a longtime Trump ally who Cohen testified offered to represent him after the FBI raided his home and hotel in 2018. Meanwhile, outside of court, chaotic moments when the large political entourage with Trump stepped out to speak.
I'm Alan Wilson. I'm the Attorney General for South Carolina.
Protesters clashing, some screaming, trying to drown out Trump's surrogates. Trump has pleaded not guilty to falsifying business records and has denied any sexual encounter with Daniels.
They have no case, they have no crime. It's covered in the book. It's legal expense. I had nothing to do with it. The bookkeeper put it down as a legal expense.
With Memorial Day coming up, the judge says closing arguments will likely begin next Tuesday. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, locally tonight, we are talking about a chance of rain in the forecast.
Taking a live look outside, we're starting to see clouds move in. This is Toppenish. Meteorologist Hayden Nix is tracking the timing of those rain changes in your first alert forecast.
Yeah, those clouds say it all. Plus, it might look like a Renaissance fair, but organizers tell us this is actually a learning experience with a dose of fun. That story is next on the area's only local news at 6:30.
Fight back against scammers targeting seniors. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Wednesday.
Studies show people like to get more for less. So I'm giving you not just one Jumbo Jack burger, but two for only $5. Statistically speaking, that's a lot more for a lot less. At Jack, every bite's a big deal. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Would you know what to do if you were in your car, submerged underwater? Wednesday, GMA will show you live how to survive.
All right, it's go time.
From inside a car as water rushes in. Must see live only on Good Morning America.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can capture all the moments that make summer, summer. Like driving a RAV4 to wade in a waterfall.
Nice.
Cruising to play mini golf in a Camry. Or taking a Tundra to the beach.
You're not going to leave me here, are you?
Right now, lease a new 2024 Tundra for just $549 per month. See your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com to learn more.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Visit us at our new urban wine bar in historic downtown Kennewick. Choose from a variety of wines and food from our expanded menu. Enjoy time with friends old and new. After hours with riverfront views from our shaded patio, we are Murray Gaston Wine Bar.
No matter how he got here, how alone she feels, how they've struggled to support their best friend. What's important is this moment, when they reached out and said, I can't do this alone. And we said, that's okay, we'll figure it out together. If you or a loved one needs support, our trained counselors can help you too. 988, anywhere, anytime.
Driving safely is all about the little things, like giving folks a break, even at unmarked crosswalks, making plenty of space for people riding, and choosing to wait for the next green light by slowing down and stopping on yellow. Because when you're the biggest and the fastest, you've got to be the safest, too. Together, we get there.
If you're injured on the job, you need an experienced workers' comp attorney.
Workers' compensation is complex. It has its own laws, doctors, courts, and judges.
For years as an assistant attorney general, I represented labor and industries. Now, I fight for injured workers.
If you were hurt at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411, Bothwell and Hamill.
How long do I have to wait?
Watch Thursday at 9 on Apple Valley News Now. Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, your 5-star rated hospital. This is how we care.
Introducing the best rated burger in fast food. My new Smash Jack. A 1/4-pound smashed patty with perfectly imperfect edges, melty cheese, and new boss sauce on a soft brioche bun. Just one bite and you'll have a new favorite burger. Try it today. Welcome to Jack in the Box.
All right, summer break is on the way for students, and that could mean a lot more screen time. This covers everything from smartphones to internet and, of course, traditional television and movies. Experts say it is important to set expectations with your kids early to avoid too much screen time.
That's what really develops the relationship, between especially teenagers and their parents, is how they engage on things like screen time.
Experts recommend a system called the 5 C's. That stands for child. Think about how media impacts your individual children. Then content. Find out what they are watching and playing online. Calm. Are there ways to calm down without using TV or the internet? And finally, crowding out. make sure media isn't taking over family time, and then, of course, communication.
Well, maybe get outside,
Yes.
right? Hundreds of people gathered in Grandview for the Society of Creative Anachronisms twice annual crowning event this weekend.
This internationally known group has been around for decades, studying and recreating things you might have seen in everyday life if you lived in a time from before the year 1600.
Riley Fitzgerald has a look at some of the sights and sounds from the May Crown.
Because it's a kingdom level event, there's always lots going on. This is an event where we saw almost everything. So behind me, you see the rest of, or a part of the heavy combat tournament for sovereigns. We also saw some rapier fighting, which is another one of the martial activities. There was the archery range. We have equestrian activities here. Throughout the weekend, people will be doing different performances or storytelling or singing, especially once we get into night and the campfires start up. We have some people teaching arts and sciences classes. As a group overall, the SCA is a nonprofit educational group where our goal is to try to learn as much as we can by doing about the pre-Renaissance history. Anywhere from the world, really anywhere back into where we start losing documentation, and then to turn around and teach it. Right, to find as many people as we can who can find that same passion for this really obscure skill or this really particular like niche period of history in this one country where something wild happened and we don't know why. Or maybe we do, but we don't know how it worked. So then we find out by doing it.
Now, if you missed the Grandview event, but you want to get involved, we have a link to more information over on our website.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Hayden Nix.
Well, let's take a look at that forecast. First off, we're going to do a sneak peek view of what's happening next weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend. It's hard to believe we already have made it this far into May, and now we'll be wrapping it up here very soon. But forecast is looking pretty great. Just a small projection into next weekend. But before we get to that, we've got some rainfall to talk about in our forecast. None right now, but definitely seeing some clouds filling in. Temperatures are holding in the mid-70s right now in the Tri-Cities, and we're also tracking just very, very faint light showers that have been moving through the basin here, but overall that is going to remain less than a 10% as far as coverage goes for tonight. But that story changes as we move into tomorrow and on Wednesday. Here's the big culprit behind it. Our weather pattern shows a very active jet stream across the Pacific Northwest. Well, there's the first dip that gave us the cool temperatures and a couple light showers over the weekend. Now we've got another dip in the jet stream coming in from Alaska. This is going to work its way into the northwestern U.S. over the next 24 hours, and notice it comes with some pretty good precipitation with it. And now let's get a little closer and show you that in more depth with the precision of Futurecast. We're going to showcase this starting off tonight, noting that we'll have some clouds mixing in, but overall very dry. But tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., notice where the showers are, west of the Cascades. We are going to see it, though, moving across and slowly but surely expanding west to east here. And starting with showers being picked up and monitored from Ellensburg southward through Yakima down to I-84. Then as we move into the afternoon hours, probably after about 3 o'clock, Tri-Cities should begin to see some showers and on the commute home, so just a heads up there. And we'll see a pretty decent amount of rainfall coming through the basin. Then, as we go into the evening hours, that starts to transition towards the foothills and the Blues with a decent amount of rainfall possible, especially for Walla Walla and Pendleton, just to name a few locations in that region. That's just Tuesday. Now, as we move into Wednesday, we are going to see more rainfall, but the coverage is not going to be quite as widespread as what was picked up for Tuesday. Models are still depicting, though, that we'll have at least some scattered shower activity, but when it sets up like this, you may have gotten rain Tuesday, and you won't get any rain Wednesday. That'll be the setup that we'll see with this. Some will get a 2-day dose, some will just get a 1-day. There might be a clap of thunder or two with this, especially down in Oregon near Pendleton and Hermiston, but overall that's going to be limited in nature. But let's take a look at the estimated rainfall from all this setup here. Couple of locations I really think we'll see near 1/4 of an inch. We will see a 1/10 of an inch, maybe even some locations having a tad bit less than that. But overall, Walla Walla and Pendleton area, we'll have to watch that closely. They could be seeing areas exceeding 1/2 of an inch or more of rainfall from that setup there. Back to the top of the forecast tonight, 40s will be area-wide. We'll have some cloud cover moving through. Tomorrow, rainfall gradually building in west to east. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s maybe making it to 70 degrees. 7-day planning forecast shows breezy conditions through Wednesday. We will keep rain chances in through then take them out for Thursday. Small chance comes back for Friday and into the beginning of Memorial Day weekend. But outside of that, Sunday looks really nice out there, warming back into the 70s. And then for Memorial Day itself, area-wide, we could have upper 70s to near 80 degrees across the region.
All right, Hayden, thank you. Still ahead here on Apple Valley News Now at 6:30. We're talking about a school fundraising effort that got a little bigger than expected. Hear from the superintendent preparing to spend 2 days on the roof. That's next.
You know, even in the most minor car accidents, it always seems like the one not at fault gets hurt the worst. If that is you, call Allen Brecky Law Offices. Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
Following 2 epic battles in January, boxing great and current trainer Roy Jones Jr. is bringing back Yakima's Andrew Murphy and India's Mandeep Jangra to defend their titles at Legends Casino Hotel on June 28th. Murphy fought his heart out in defending his super middleweight belt to get a perfect 8-0 and now faces his biggest challenge to date. Mandeep won a solid 10 rounds to retain his junior lightweight title and will try to remain undefeated in what promises to be another bruising battle. Tickets start at just $40 and can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com or the Legends gift shop. Don't miss action-packed pro boxing at Legends Casino Hotel. Get your tickets now.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $1,950 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus, get 0 down and 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,800 off select Kubota tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
It's May Madness down here at the auto lot, and we are chopping prices. Check out this 2023 Mini Cooper fully electric hardtop loader. Was $39.95. Now it's only $28,495. Roll it out of here. And check out this beautiful 2021 GMC Yukon. Put the entire family into luxury. Was $64.95. Now it's only $61.95. Hit the gas, baby. And if you love Fast and Furious, check this Hemi Dodge Charger SRT and feel the power. Was $41.95. Now it's only $38.95. Come save money at the auto lot in Kennewick.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of buildings and sheds that come with a 5-year limited warranty, free delivery, and setup. Whether you're ready to custom create your space or just need extra storage, we're here to help every step of the way. All in-stock buildings can be delivered within 7 to 10 days and custom builds in 3 to 4 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Find your perfect building or shed today with Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds in West Richland.
You know, there's no such thing as a minor fender bender when you're on a motorcycle. When motorcyclists get in an accident, they get hurt. So if someone else's carelessness has caused your luck to run out, get some legal help. Find out what your rights are under the law.
North Idaho's Fernand Lake. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6, Tuesday.
All right, who's ready to raise the roof? You're going to see an unusual sight at Liberty Christian School in Richland over the next couple of days. Superintendent Jim Cochran will be hanging out on the roof. This all came about because of the school's annual Patriot Auction fundraiser. The superintendent tells us he offered to stay up on the roof for an hour for every $200 raised, and people were unexpectedly enthusiastic.
We were hoping that everybody had spent their money during the evening. And so the idea was, okay, we'll have some fun and get some donations, generate some time. It'd be awesome if I could be up there for a long day, 16 hours. That would be a work day, so that would not be a problem. And then it stretched into, okay, now it's going to be 24 hours and overnight. And then we had some further donations come in, and it stretched me through that second night and into the morning.
And new in our 6:30 half hour, we have learned that so far they have raised a total of $7,600. The superintendent will be on the roof night and day until the start of the school day on Wednesday morning of this week. We'll have a final look at your forecast on the other side of the break.
When it comes to remodeling your bath, there's fact and there's fiction. Fiction. Some bath remodels just cover up water damage. Fact. Bathfitter inspects and cleans your current tub area, and we make any necessary repairs before installing our product for a watertight fit. Bathfitter installations are built to last, with a lifetime warranty to fit your expectations. Get the bath that fits you. Bathfitter. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
These are real people seeking solutions to real problems.
I have plantar fasciitis.
Pain with my feet, my knees. Feet, knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports.
I definitely feel the heel-to-toe walk.
I'm not feeling any pain, especially in my heel. That's where I always feel it.
I don't feel the knee pain. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Oh, you're a blessing in disguise.
Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
An accident can shatter your life. The award-winning team at Tamaki Law can put your life back together.
I'm attorney Jeff Kreutz.
And I'm attorney Megan Changaroya.
Thank you, Tri-Cities, for voting us Best Personal Injury and Best Overall Law Firm.
We are so honored and grateful to serve this amazing community.
If you've been seriously injured, call the law firm that has served Central Washington for 30 years. Call Tamaki Law and get your life back.
Welcome to Beaver Valley Lodge, your rustic lodging and event venue in the beautiful Leavenworth, Washington. Experience the great outdoors and enjoy the beauty of the mountains as you stay with us on our 50 acres in the Cascade Foothills. Whether you're joining us for a wedding, retreat, vacation, or family reunion, we're here to make your stay unforgettable. We make it our goal for you to come as a guest, but leave as a friend. Book your stay today at beavervalleylodge.com.
Watch me. Watch me take the stage. It's okay to stare. Not long ago, it seemed things weren't fair. A face like my friend's, that's all I would want. Now I can smile anytime I'm in front. I feel pretty. I must be a star. They helped me come a long way. I'll show you how far. Watch me. World-class procedures for cleft lip and palate at Shriners Children's. The most amazing care anywhere. Hey, Dad, look.
Us.
This is the magma chamber.
This isn't us, is it? When did we get so connected to our devices and so disconnected from each other?
She's not answering.
What? And when our phones have turned us into this, LT, what do you do when you're a company that sells them?
We gotta fix this.
It's time to find what we're missing. Join us in taking a break from our devices. Take the phones down for 5 challenge for 5 days, 5 hours, or even just 5 minutes. Feels good. And let's find us again. U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
Fight back against scammers targeting seniors. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Wednesday.
Welcome back. We're taking a final look at your first alert forecast with Hayden Nix.
Yeah, temperatures are going to get chilly once more tonight. Cloud cover will be thickening up some too, and then that is going to transition into some rainy conditions tomorrow. It will gradually fill in west to east though, so won't really see any rainfall in the Tri-Cities area until mid-afternoon. Temperatures though will struggle with that cloud cover to warm even into the lower 70s, so be prepared for some upper 60s. Have the umbrella handy too. We're going to deal with rain chances once more on Wednesday. We'll take a break Thursday from the rainfall potential, but then as we get into Friday and Saturday, another small chance for showers will be possible from another fast-moving disturbance. But overall, it will clear out with a very nice Memorial Day weekend, setting up low 70s and sunshine Sunday, upper 70s to lower 80s on Memorial Day itself, with nice weather to wrap up the holiday weekend. And then after that, it looks like we'll continue with dry conditions. So listen, Austin.
Thanks, Hayden. Well, before we go tonight, there's a new animal that's been observed learning to use tools, and only the smart survive.
Apparently, researchers say sea otters in California are having a hard time finding their preferred food, but they've adjusted They're using tools to go after some of the bigger and tougher shellfish they typically wouldn't be able to eat. I think we should just stay. Oh, we should go back to that. I love seeing the otters.
Beware the sea otters. They have tools now.
Have a great night, everybody.
We'll be back at 11.